What is going on? Welcome to Rue's Room, where we get into the nitty gritty of the artists and creators in the Australian scene. I am Rue, aka the Culture Black Kid, and today we have Jarrod Jeremiah, 21-year-old Australian Indian artist based in Perth, has dropped a couple tracks in 2023. Now, Jarrod, how are you doing? For real though, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm a bit tired, a bit kind of burnt out, but I'm doing pretty fine.
That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, nice. You got much else planned for the day, for today? I know I'm kind of dating
man.
myself, but
I'm just sipping on. I have to have a morning coffee, so
mhm.
that's my must, or I can't open my eyes.
What kind of
Um,
coffee?
just like anything strong. So I just got some milk
Mm-hmm.
and like, but I have to have my milk nice and steamed. I can't lie, I'm a coffee snob.
Mm,
So like nice and steamed milk, nice good coffee, and really strong coffee to start the
mhm.
day. Done.
Nice.
But then I don't know, like for the rest of the day, I'm probably gonna make some music on my days off, and when I'm chilling, I just like try like set some time over to like just produce,
Hmm.
practice. And even if nothing comes from it, it's just like practice. If nothing comes from it, I'm practicing something, practicing
Yeah,
a skill. Um, that's if I'm productive. If not, I'm just gonna end up watching YouTube videos.
fair enough. Fair enough. I'm in the same boat, and YouTube is a
Yeah.
deadly rabbit
Yeah,
hole to get
it's
yourself
it's a
into.
spiral for me. Like literally a spiral. It's worse than TikTok for me. Like I
Yeah,
literally spend hours and hours on it.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm very much the same. Very much the same. Now I first heard of you through your song with Agnieszka, 10 Feet. Agnieszka's a friend of mine as well. But when we first met face to face
Mhm.
is at South by Southwest a couple weeks ago at this club event, I
Yeah.
guess. I think it was Close Friends, a shout out to Scruffs. And freaking everyone was there that night.
Mm.
It started off a little slow, and then I turned around
Mm.
and I saw Pania by the bar, and I was like, wait, hold up. And then next thing I know, like everyone is coming through the
Yeah.
door. I'm like, what is going on right now? Um,
Yeah.
how was your South by Southwest experience down in
Yeah.
here in Sydney?
It was very overwhelming to be honest, but it was amazing because like I feel like in Perth we're so tucked away from everyone, like the
Hmm.
industry, just even seeing other artists I know, like it's all these artists I like know on Instagram and this and that, and just putting faces to names
Yeah.
was like, whoa, I know you, and it's like realizing how small the scene is, and
Mm.
it's like no matter like what different genres people make, everyone still kind of hangs out together. Like
Yeah.
I was hanging out with a country artist and like an R&B, then like some random pop, and then we're all just like in the club. Like,
Yeah.
it's like the Australian, it really made me kind of appreciate the Oz music scene because it's like
Mm.
it's so small and it's like everyone does a billion things. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you make music, you also produce, you also run a show, you do this. It's like it's amazing. So it's like I don't know, it was really eye-opening. But it's also like really like, damn, we're so tucked away in Perth on the other side. And it's
Mm.
it's interesting to see because sometimes people, especially like Sydney and Melbourne, they're like, oh, I think only recently they're starting to care what like WA is doing and
Mhm.
like what's happening in WA. But I feel like for the longest time there, it's just been like, I'm gonna support my scene, my local, my community. And it's like
Yeah.
their community is Sydney, their community is Melbourne.
Mhm.
But there's not much things like trying to push Perth out from Perth. It's just like kind of isolated there. That's what
Mhm.
I felt. But yeah, it was a really good experience.
Yeah, nice. Do you feel like from being from Perth, and there's some amazing artists from Perth, but
Yeah.
do you feel like there's a yearning from, some of your music friends over in Perth to be like, man, I just wish I was in Sydney, I was in Melbourne, I was in Brisbane on the East Coast, closer to the action?
Yeah. Well, I think it's not a yearning really. It's like what has to be done. Like
Right.
most of my music friends have moved to like Melbourne and Sydney, right? So
Mhm.
it's like once you reach like a kind of a place in Perth where it's like what can you push more? It's like you have to kind of either you're going on trips, you're like spending a lot of money going back and forth from
Mhm.
Melbourne to Sydney, and that gets super expensive. Or you just move there. And like I feel like when I go to Sydney and Melbourne, I feel like it's really easy to see how people are like, we come here and then people like kind of take it for granted who live there. It's
Mm.
like you have everything at your doorstep. You have, but it's also like it's the whole thing about when it's next to you, when it's close to you, you don't really like see like what you have. And I guess that's probably similar in Perth. We probably have some crazy things in Perth, but I don't see it because I'm so close to it.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. And my second question in regards to that is, did you meet anyone else interesting at the South by Southwest across that week or however long you were there?
I met so many people to like honestly remember. I feel like the most random people and cool people I met like were outside the music industry. Like, of course, music industry, cool. Meet all
Yeah.
of them, meet the artists. And it's like, all right, I
Mhm.
expected to meet you. But
Yeah.
like, because it was South by, like, I was just meeting some random like digital agencies and some random. Oh, I met like some random engineer. I was like eating a kebab at 3 a.m.
Mhm.
and then I was sitting down, and it turns out some big like venture capitalist. I was just talking about like random stuff about kebab at like 2 a.m. to some
Yeah.
random venture capitalists. Because I feel like that's the cool thing about South by South. But
Yeah.
it's also like, I don't know, like why I met you, but it's cool. It's like
No,
you meet random people, which is dope.
of
I
course.
appreciate that.
Of
And
course.
also like film people, like all the like Netflix and all these kind of
Mm.
filmmakers, sick. I think it was cooler to meet outside the music industry. That was a more unexpected thing.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
dope. Dope. You gotta have that diverse, conversations as well.
Yeah.
Keep your mind open rather than box
Yeah.
yourself in. Nah, I
Yeah.
like that. Um,
Yeah.
all right. So, if you weren't sure, and for those out there who might not know, the whole point of this show isn't to get the so when did you get into music type questions, the super cliche things, trying to get to know you a little bit more as an
Mhm.
artist, as a person, more
Yeah.
so even as a person, hopefully. So my first formal question to you is what percentage of yourself do you think your circle really knows about you?
That's a really good question. I would like to say like close to 100%
Hmm.
because I feel like my circle's not so big, like especially like in Perth and in music in the music it's very small, but also
Hmm.
generally my friends and stuff like that. And like lots of my friends know me as like just the idiot who like goofs around and if
Yeah.
he's there he's gonna be a menace like
Yeah.
in city I just menacing everyone is menace. So yeah I guess I'm a menace but no like I feel like people mostly like really know lots about me but I also have like if you ask me like an important question I'm gonna like tell you the truth and
Of course.
like how I'm feeling so I think I tried to do that and it's hard with sometimes people that you can't feel like opening up like it's
Hmm.
it's not as easy to open it up but I just don't really surround myself by like that kind of people so I guess it's a small like circle but they know like everything I know.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
fair enough. Fair enough. And my follow up to that initial question is how much of that percentage do you think you've shared within your music?
That's an amazing question. Again, I okay. I was thinking about that, and I think I have more to share. To be honest, um, like quite often in my tracks, obviously some tracks I've really written from like a really like strong like place,
Hmm.
but I put myself in different scenarios, and I think it's a really cool skill to have because I want to write for other people and produce for other people
Hmm.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I put myself in a different scenario, so it's not necessarily from experience most of my stuff.
Right.
Um, it's mostly just kind of like writing a story, crafting it, and crafting where it will go and putting a narrative behind it.
Hmm.
Um, so I think in my music, like the actual music, I would say 70% maybe.
Okay.
Um, but I think what kind of like compensates for that is more so like the branding around it
Hmm.
is that's fully me. Like
Mm.
everything I do is just trying to be like that is me. Like I don't care what I make. I don't care what the video is.
Hmm.
And it's been really hard recently. It's like if you make like a really like stupid video or something like
Hmm.
that, and it gets like 0 views, it's like trying to detract from the actual results.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I would say about 70%, but like my brand and like just my content and stuff like that is kind of compensates for that.
Nice. Nice. And do you think you're sitting on the other 30% on the unreleased stuff, or that's how much would that maybe take it up to if we're including the
I
unreleased?
For the unreleased, I'm really my whole thing is if I want to tell my story, I don't want to tell it in a single. I want to
Mm.
tell it in like a really nice
Project,
project.
body of work. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because I just don't think it's enough to tell in a single. Like singles are just like bang pop. Like it's 2 seconds really.
Yeah.
So I really want to work on a body of work and a longer one possibly.
Mm.
That kind of allows me to tell that in a really unique way. Like I'm really like fans of like John Bellion and stuff like that.
Mm.
And he's insane. I was actually just listening to him the other day, and that's why I reminded of him. And he's insane in telling stories in like a long format, but like the most interesting format ever.
Mm.
So yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, hopefully through this main part of the interview, we get to know a little bit more of that close to 100%, or I guess that's
Yeah,
70% in the music.
yeah.
So we're gonna take it back to primary school days. It's gonna be a little
So,
show and tell. Hopefully Jarrod has brought some of the items that I have asked him to do from his homework. If not, at least a dope story to go along with
mm,
it. So let us get into it. So my first question for you,
mm.
what is something that represents who you are as a person?
All right, let me grab it. Okay, so all right, I got two ones.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, we got this cap. I wear it a lot.
Mm.
Honestly, I got it from Universal Store as a joke, but turns out it's pretty dope. I feel like often I wear this out and people are like, oh, I don't want to be seen with you on that. Like I got it as a
Your fashion
joke.
choices, zero.
It's a zero fashion choice, but that was my whole thing. It's like
Yeah.
I just want to be like proper goofy, but also it's
Mm.
like I feel like people see the side of me, but what they don't see is this
Yeah.
side of me, right? So this
Okay.
side of me is like it's random, but like hear me out. So this is like kind of my to-do list slash notebook.
Oh
It's
wow.
really smashed out. This was like pretty much in uni. And like I would use this, I would act like I'm taking notes. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I was in uni, I'd be like, yeah, I'm taking notes in a lecture.
Mm-hmm.
I was planning releases, planning
Oh
campaigns,
wow.
planning rollouts, planning well, who should like it's literally look, planning new businesses helps them all look at that. Just
That's
company
cool.
ideas. Yeah, so I feel like lots of people like often see me as like, oh, like he's just messing around, he's a
Yeah,
menace.
yeah.
But I over plan. Like my whole thing's about planning, and I plan so much.
Mm-hmm.
Often sometimes you can plan too much that you forget to stay present.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I feel like those two kind of items really like complement each other.
Mm.
And it's like so at the face of it, yeah, I'm messing around and I'm a bit dumb and whatever. But
For sure.
like under it, I try to be really like strategic and
Mm-hmm.
planned out. And really like I'm really a fan of like business and all that kind of stuff
Mm-hmm.
and how like the audience and marketing and all kind of stuff. I'm super into it.
Yeah.
So it's good and it's bad, but sometimes you just get, oh, what's the marketing? What's this? What that?
Yeah.
But I think those items really represent me.
Yeah. No. That makes sense. I like the duality of both of them. What were you studying, or are you studying?
Yeah, I was studying. I graduated last year.
Mm-hmm.
Was studying music and marketing.
Okay.
Like a classical music degree, like
Mm.
playing Beethoven, which was really strange compared to what I'm doing
Look,
now.
I'm a violinist. I'm a classical violinist.
Damn,
Yeah, yeah, and,
I
and trumpet player. So like,
I can't lie. I forgot all the composers I studied. Like
oh
they were
yeah, no,
literally
fair enough. I don't
yeah.
blame you. Once the Gregorian chants kick in, then it's like, all
Yeah, I
right,
was like,
no,
bro,
I'm done.
stop.
I'm
No.
done. Stop.
Either every time I come to class would be some like really strange, like, oh yeah. I'm like,
I
bro,
it's the worst.
what?
It's so annoying.
Yeah. Nah, like so I studied music and marketing. Marketing was surprisingly cool. Like I thought it'd be
Mm,
generic and stuff like that. But I was like, this is dope. It's like it's what I kind of do in my spare time anyway.
mm.
But yeah, that's why like those kind of two interests are pretty present in my day to day right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I guess it's not like you were studying like I don't know, just to throw something out of my ass, law, and you're sitting in a
To be
lecture
honest,
and
I was gonna study law. Like
oh,
I
okay,
started for 6 months. I started for like 6 months doing it. I was like, yeah, I want to. I feel like you know what it was in
okay,
high school. I was the biggest fan of Suits. Biggest.
okay.
So like Suits, like I was like, oh, I want to be a lawyer. Then I was
Hmm.
like, okay, let's do law. It's like the most stupid and like naive thing to do, but I did
Hmm.
it. Um, but I really enjoyed law. I really enjoyed it. But I was like, what am I going to do with this in my life? Like, I enjoyed law. It was so interesting and so fun. But
Okay,
I was like, what am I going to do with this?
it's a lot. Law
Yeah,
is a lot. Yeah,
it's a
yeah, yeah,
lot.
yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. The
yeah.
duality. I like the duality, and
Mhm.
um, I guess when it's at the core of it, and you got millions of fans, etc., etc. Which part of Jarrod do you want people to know more? Do you want them to know the goofy side of you, or do you want them to know um the more a strategic side of you that, or maybe a percentage balance.
Yeah, honestly, I want people. I like to surprise people, so I would love people to know the goose hiding and everything like that. But you don't necessarily need. They don't need to know what's happening behind the scenes. It's like Jarrod Jeremiah can be the brand, and I'm doing all the hard work. But they don't know what's happening day to day. They don't know how many things I'm doing, like what I'm writing up, what I'm doing this. So it's like they don't need to know that, and it's like it might like destroy the thing. But it's cool to like just make sure it's happening, and it's like you're not just like messing around. Like there's so many artists that like kind of just are the artists, per se, and it's like they might mess around, but that's what they do 24/7, and that's not always good. In a session, you got to be like in and out. You got to be like working. So that's my thing. Like if I'm in a session, I'm gonna go there to like literally come out with something. I don't want to leave when I'm not out of something. So I'm going in. I'm like pushing hard, working hard. So that's my kind of mindset of it.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, let's go on to number 2. What is the last sentimental gift that you received from someone?
Number 2 is the one I don't really have. I'll find one. Trust me, I'll find one. I'll send it to you. Yeah, I don't know. I'll figure it out. But I just haven't had a proper look around my stuff.
If not sentimental gift, just last gift.
Last gift. This one was random as hell. I'll grab this one because it's on my desk.
Okay.
My uncle went to Africa, I think so.
Okay.
And basically because I'm a drummer, right? I've always drummed. Like from childhood, I'll be the noisiest kid. And so he remembers me was being like just super noisy. I'll be banging on things. Every time a family member would come over, I'll be like, watch me drum. I'm just like I'm an attention grabber. I need attention.
Same,
right?
Me, relatable.
Exactly. I feel like it hasn't changed, to be honest. But yeah, so he remembered me of that, and then he got me like this kind of interesting sculpture, I guess. And it's like a drummer, and there's like tons of drums, and like he's stretched.
I see it now.
You get it?
Sorry, it took me a second.
Yeah.
I think once you said it, I was like, now I see how all the
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I just keep it here because it looks cool.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, like also have this one. I don't know. No, this is actually old. That's from Bali.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but no. I feel like really like my people know me as like music, and I feel like I was intertwined within me. As probably every artist is, and every musician. But yeah.
Is there a drummer that stands out to you as like the one who either got you into it or
got me in? Yeah. Oh, this is crazy. Yeah. So like, I feel like this is a whole thing which I don't tell many people about, and I've tried to like separate this part from my life. But basically, I used to be big into YouTube covers, right?
Okay.
So like as a kid, probably from the age of 12, I started posting drumming YouTube covers. Like it would generally be me playing along to Meghan Trainor. I mean,
okay,
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I posted them like regularly, like every week. I'd be on that grind, and I feel like that taught me the most, like how to like really work hard, how to do this, how to do that. But I was just watching lots of like YouTube drummers. Like there was one called Cooper Drummer. He was like, it was cool. He was like just drumming along to like Taylor Swift. I'll like watch him every single day, but like, okay, he's so and then I recorded it and then I posted it, and it would just be on like a really like regular thing, and my friends were like, oh, it's posted.
Oh, nice,
yeah.
Cool. Okay, nice. Now, hey, look, we got to start somewhere. We got to find that initial inspiration, and that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. It was dope.
Yeah, nice. All right, number 3. What is the first most important piece of equipment that you ever bought or received?
Yeah. Okay, I got a cop-out answer, then I have a non-cop-out answer.
Okay.
All right. So like I feel like the cop-out answer, but it's actually I got a story behind it. It would be the laptop, right? This was like a trashy, oh, it's not trash, it was a good laptop. Yeah. But like this is the laptop I started producing on. Like literally, I would use this in high school. Like so I'd be in math class, remember this. So this is my favorite story, right?
Yeah.
I'll be in math class, and my goal was to study so much that like teachers wouldn't worry about me. Then I can do whatever I want. So that was solid plan. So what I did is it was in year 11, I think so. And I was like, all right, cool, let's study so hard. I had a test and I like aced it or something. I got like 90 something
Yeah.
flex, right?
Yeah.
And then the teacher was like, all right, this guy's smart. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so and then she the best teacher. She let me in the front row of the class, literally put my headphones on while she's teaching, and everyone else has to listen. Had my headphones on. I was producing
Oh,
in the
wow.
class. So
Wow.
I was like this Ableton producing, and she'd be teaching the class. So the C plus the D is the complex number of this. And I was like, I didn't pay attention at all. And that came back to get me.
Oh,
That came back to get
no.
me. The next test, I kid you not, I got 14%.
What? Oh my, see, that's the thing. You don't play with maths.
Yeah, I don't play
maths
with I learned that. I
Oh,
learned never to mess around with maths after that. So I was like, nah, I'll
yeah,
produce a lot, but I'm not gonna do it in class. So
no,
that was with this laptop, it happened.
that's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. It's like the meme where it's like you miss one day of class and then everything's different and you don't know and you
Literally,
can't keep up.
bro. I literally I put my headphones in and then I had the test. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I was like, I thought I'd be able to finesse this, but I obviously it's calm. It was calm.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, no, that's funny. I like
Yeah,
that's funny.
nah.
Okay, cop out answer is the laptop.
I feel like it's an all right answer.
I kind of like that one, but
Yeah, maybe I'll stick with that.
okay. Okay.
Do you want to show the other one?
I mean, I'm curious.
It's just drumsticks, to be honest. Like, these were like my first drumsticks, and like,
yeah, definitely. Tell us about the first drumsticks. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I got my first drum kit when I was like 7, and these ones basically they're so old, right? So what I did, man, I'm a finesser. What I did is I made them look like a limited pair of drumsticks. That's electrical tape, and I taped it up with electrical tape, and like I kid myself like I was playing some fresh drumsticks. Every time I'd smash it, and these are broken. These are all broken inside. Like it's broken to pieces.
Oh wow!
So if you touch it, it's gonna break. But like I've taped it up so much and like playing on it. But no, like just drumsticks. So I guess it is what it is.
Okay.
I feel like the laptop was better though.
It does have a funny story.
Yeah.
Cliche question alert before we go into the next one. When did singing come into the fold then?
Yeah, so singing came into the fold just because no one wanted to sing on my tracks. Literally. I would produce, and then I have a sister who can sing, and I was showed to her. I have other people that I know can sing. And they were like, bro, this is trash. I was like, it was trash, to be fair. I was like, well, it was terrible, bro. Terrible. So I was like, oh, I guess I have to sing myself. Like I did it so unwillingly. I did not want to do it. I did not want to be known as a singer. And so I'd record into my like literal voice notes and then like airdrop it and like kind of mess around with it. And then that's how it started. And my best tracks were terrible, man. Terrible. Like the worst. And then eventually I was like, hold on, like maybe I should like actually try a bit more. And then I got a mic and this and that. And then I started like really learning how to produce my vocals. And the biggest thing is how to write for my vocals. That's what changed it. Like, once one of my music teachers told me, it's like, I think it was Radiohead. Like Radiohead, like theoretically, they're not a good or whoever. I don't actually. Okay, I'm gonna say this. I don't really know who's in Radiohead.
Okay, so, that's fair.
Okay, so the lead singer in Radiohead, theoretically, is not like a good singer.
Yeah,
but they write make it like for them, and that's why it's good. So it's like you write for your voice, and that's what I really learned, because it's like sometimes you're in sessions with artists and they may not be able to sing one song who's written by someone else, but if they write for themselves and they sing their own music, that's all you need, really.
Makes sense.
So I feel like I learned how to write for myself and then also produce a bit better. So,
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, number 4. What is an object what is an object from or that represents one of your favorite gigs or sessions?
Okay. I thought it was the last session, so I just did the last session. It was a pretty good session, to be honest. This one was with Agnieszka, actually. It was in South by.
Yeah.
So it was on like the Monday, right? And then we got in, like I was gonna produce for her. I've been producing quite a bit. And we got in, and then I was setting up everything, chilling, this and that, catching up. and then I realized I forgot my adapter. So
Mm.
we couldn't record anything, couldn't play anything. This was a big amateur move by me. I was like, bro, come on, Jarrod.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we were in, I think it's Ultimo. So
Okay.
we're in like a studio there,
That's where I'm
and
right now, actually. In the
hey,
ABC
dope,
offices in Triple D.
yeah,
Yeah,
dope,
yeah.
bro.
Okay.
So we're around those
Yeah,
ends,
yeah.
and I was staying around like close to Circular or Key or like somewhere there,
Hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
that's pretty big distance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I was like, I have to go back and get it.
Yeah.
But like we only had the studio for a certain amount of time, and we spent the best 2 hours chatting.
Hmm.
So I was like, all right, I have to go back and get it. And I am so unfit, so unfit. So I was panting and running my ass off in the middle of the day, in the middle of the workout. Just people like eating their lunch nice and slowly. I'm
Peak
here like
Sydney.
running, like bro, this guy, I was like bolting it. Okay. And then I finally make it there. I get it, and I got it. This is
Yeah.
the adapter. I got the
Oh my
adapter.
goodness.
I'm like, oh my god, I have to run back. This guy, this fatty here, he just gets an Uber. It was like such an expensive Uber. I got an Uber for
Oh.
it was a 5 minute Uber, and that was pretty much the story of my life for the whole trip. I was like, everywhere I go, like I see he's walking. I'm getting an Uber.
Yeah. And then bank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
and then yeah, we had the session. It was a success. Made a really cool like R&B track.
mhm.
And I lost some calories.
Hey, look, that's
Hey, bro.
you're getting something out of it.
That's what.
Fitness,
Yeah,
health
fitness,
as
bro.
well. Well, health as well.
Health as well. Yeah.
Uh,
Nah. Yeah. That was
yeah. If there's anything you need to take from that, is always remember your equipment, which is funny
mhm.
because I actually forgot my equipment for my stand today. Thankfully, I'm in a room where I can have the mic heading down, but usually I got my mic arm that I forgot
Oh,
the thing that plugs into this for. So yes, remember your
yes.
equipment, kids.
Remember your equipment.
And number 5, what is something that represents your dreams, aspirations within your field?
Yeah, so this one I was honestly trying to like find a object and find something that maybe I haven't looked at much.
Mm-hmm.
But then I realized this object has been like next to me the whole time
Mm-hmm.
for probably 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's not a really object, it's more of a photo, more of a printout.
Mm-hmm.
So this printout, you can kind of see how old it is. I printed this in maybe year 9. So it's like a picture here. There we go.
Yep.
It's a picture. That's Odessa, if you know them. So they're like
Mm-hmm.
an electronic duo. And I used to be really obsessed with like Odessa, San Holo, Lewis
Mm-hmm.
Child, that whole kind of thing. That's what got me into production. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, my goal is to be on a stage like that, like being
Mm-hmm.
able to control the crowd like that, having like a cool lighting system like that, and
Yeah.
just really like playing and like kind of playing music. And I forgot about this until literally like 10 minutes ago. I was like, I need something. I need something. See, a late homework doer,
Hey, look, it's better
I
than,
procrastinate.
you were just sitting in this interview making a beat whilst I'm
Yeah.
uh
No, but basically, like, yeah, this one has literally been next to my bedside
mm,
and it hasn't moved. Like, genuinely, this is an exclusive. I've only moved it for the first time
that's crazy.
for this.
In
Like,
10
it's
years.
generally in 10 years, probably, maybe more. But yeah, like I'm surprised it's still holding up. But yeah, like I actually don't listen to them much now, but
That's fair.
really like brings me back to my days. I'm like, damn, this is what I aspired to be as a kid.
Mm.
And I just didn't take it off my wall. I was like, I'll keep it there.
Mhm.
And yeah, so
Yeah, dope.
uh,
Is there an experience that you've had performing so far that's like, wow, that was like euphoric. I want to like bottle that moment and relive it.
yeah, I mean, I feel there was probably my headline last year was really cool.
Mhm.
Where like people were literally like singing along and like
Where was this?
this was in Perth. It was in
Mhm.
Rosemount.
Okay.
That was cool. And also, like a couple of weeks ago, I played Telethon, which was basically this
Mhm.
kind of like charity raising event
Yeah.
in WA, and it's a big thing here. And I grew up watching it. Like
Yeah.
every year, I'd go to Telethon and watch it, and literally probably since I was maybe 7 or 6, I'd go there.
Yeah.
And so it was really crazy to be on the stage and be performing, and then the cameras are around you and like, playing this, and you're 3, 2, 1. And it's like
Boom.
that.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
really cool. So it really kind of replicated that kind of feeling. And yeah, that was a really cool moment.
That's cool. That's really cool. That's really cool. Couple more questions
Hmm.
to go. So what is a personal moment that stands out to you that has impacted your music in a certain way?
Um, I think it would be mostly in my like high school years,
Mm-hmm.
which kind of helped me or like change the way I make music. So like I had a teacher. He was my percussion teacher. But
Mm-hmm.
really, he didn't teach me percussion. He taught me Ableton. Like
Mm.
it would be instead of like playing drums,
Yeah.
he'd be showing me his Ableton sets. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
that's the move. That's the move. Um, and yeah, like I feel I kind of learned on sort of electronic sides of that, and like really, I just learned how hard it is to work in the music industry and how much work you need to put in.
Yeah.
Because I saw him, hustling and really just like he's like I would say he said he once said he was like on the regular at my best time I would send 200 emails every like 4 days and
Mm-hmm.
he'll get about two responses. But
Mm-hmm.
then there's one time he got signed. I was like, I don't know, but
Yeah.
basically it's like really how much work you got to put in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really just learning that after this. I did recently went to London as well,
Mm-hmm.
and that really showed me. I was meeting other creatives, meeting just people outside of music, just people who are by themselves in a city and just move there and trying to make something of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It really like highlighted me. It's like, yeah, I might be working hard, but number one, there's always people working harder than me.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, it's like while we're working hard, why not enjoy it? It's like why not like try to like create a community around you and just like have
Yeah.
fun collaborating,
Of course.
and just making music. So it's like it's really easy to be in a mindset where it's like business, work hard, strategic, this. But it's
Mm-hmm.
also what I'm trying to tell myself is like, I gotta work hard and do business and stuff, but I was just gonna have fun and enjoy
Yeah.
it really. And I feel like this year I've kind of lent into that a bit more. Because usually I just like stay in my room and make beats and email and whatnot. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, what is music about? It's about collaboration and bring people
Mm-hmm.
together.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been one of my goals. So I feel like even going into next year, it's gonna really be about whatever labels on it,
Mm.
whatever if you're writing, if you're producing, it's just collaborating.
Yeah.
And I think this year I started off it like I did lots of collaboration tracks,
Mm-hmm.
and I think next year it's really cool to like continue that.
For sure. For
Hmm.
sure. Yeah. There's an energy when you actually work on a song in person. Everyone's in the
Yeah,
same room. You're writing
yeah,
together. You're producing together.
yeah,
In comparison to, you might make a beat at home and then send it through and be like, yeah,
yeah,
it's cool,
exactly.
and the song might turn out amazing. But
Yeah,
nah, even if it's not your
it's
favorite song, the energy from being in the same room.
yeah. Like there's been so many rooms I've been in, and I'm like, we might have not come up with the best music, but
Yeah.
man, that experience is beautiful.
Hmm.
It was so beautiful.
For sure.
Just creating something, and I feel like that's why I'm going on all these like little kind of holidays or trips and
Mm.
making music on them.
Yeah.
That's really eye opening to work with new people, even just talk about their lives, and it's like seeing what they write about and
Yeah.
where they come from and stuff like that, learning about new people. And it's a really intimate experience when you're like literally meet someone and then writing with them in the next 2 seconds. Like it's a
Yeah.
very intimate experience.
For
And
sure.
I think I've learned how to really like get the most out of it, and then but also like have a good time and have a comfortable time when you're doing that.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
And to the first thing you said when you did your response about what your teacher said in regards
Yeah.
to working super hard. Yeah, I remember seeing as you're a fellow YouTube binger. I'm not sure if you ever watched Daystorm Power. Um, he was like a rapper, but he also did like he did like raps, but it was like he was like solving a Rubik's cube, or he did like themed raps. And anyway, it was around
Maybe,
the
yeah.
like the early 2010s YouTube era. Anyway,
Okay.
he had this quote that was like, um, whilst you're working hard to be the best is working twice as hard to remain the best. And it's like it puts in context that, whilst you're working ridiculously hard to be
Mm-hmm.
there. Once you make it, it's not like, cool, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, you got to go even harder. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it really also puts things into context, and be
Yeah.
like, yo, like I'm grinding now, but
The work
the
doesn't stop.
hills, yeah, the mountain that is in this
Yeah.
industry is
And I feel like literally a couple of weeks ago, I was going through. I was like, I'm working like exactly the same thing I was working like 3 years ago. It feels like
Mm.
I'm just doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But I guess that's what you have to do. It's like you're just repeating the exact same thing and consistency.
Yeah.
But it's hard to really realize that sometimes you're
Mm.
like, oh, if you're doing the same thing, it feels like you're stuck in the same place.
Yeah.
But not necessarily. It's like if you're doing the same thing, you may be actually growing to something.
Mm.
So I just have to keep telling myself that.
Yeah. No, yeah, 100%. 100%. Well, yeah, that is pretty much it.
Oh,
For
bro.
for the interview. Thank you so much for coming on. It was
Thank you.
a pleasure to talk to you. And get to know you a little bit.
Mhm.
So I guess my final question is, what's happening? This is roll out the red carpet. What's come out? What's coming up?
We're on the red
Floor is
carpet.
yours.
Um, so by the time this is out, I would have released a single with Holly Heavey.
Hmm.
It's called Chocolate. It's really fun, like indie pop track, and yeah, it's kind of like really delving into my pop side. I really like chill, playful side. And it's a really fun track. I made it early this year in Melbourne with a fest session again. So we were straight met each other, had a session, and we came with this beautiful song.
Hmm.
So it was produced by me and Calvin Bennett, and yeah, it's a great track. And then
Dope.
next year is just gonna be another year of just lots of singles, and hopefully at the end of the year maybe a project.
Nice.
And I really just want to play a lot like next year, like hopefully land some festival slots or play in like I don't know, just really like playing to outside gigs are so cool. I want to play some outside gigs.
Mm.
So and with my band, of course.
Yeah,
My
nice.
band is dope. So yeah, just playing a lot, releasing a lot, and messing around with the content, making some funny videos.
Yeah, nice, nice. Sounds like
Yeah,
you got a full slate coming up, and
yeah.
I'll be the first one to say that I'm looking forward to it.
Oh,
But yeah, no, thank you so much again, Jarrod Jeremiah here on Rue's Room. Last thing, what's your handle? Where can people find you?
where can people find me? It's at Jarrod.Jeremiah, everywhere, and on Spotify, just Jarrod Jeremiah. And yeah.
Sweet, sweet. I've been Rue, aka the Culture Black Kid. This is Rue's Room, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.
Thanks, bro.